contrary to popular belief, NASA still has a space program. They still have an astronaut corps. Even though the shuttle's retired, they're growing the astronaut corps, in fact. A very interesting blue ribbon panel that Obama appointed came out with a report, I should say, an interesting report on the need to expand the astronaut corps because otherwise the ISS can't function because the astronaut corps that NASA has currently has shrunk to the degree that they can't adequately maintain the ISS.
What report was that?
It was a National Research Council report that came out last year. So, and that report led directly to NASA's deciding to hire more astronauts. So, good news, NASA's hiring more astronauts. Bad news, we don't know what they're going to fly on yet, other than the Soyuz, right? So, but I'm completely confident that this is going to work itself out. That whether it's Boeing, SpaceX, what have you, there's going to be a ride up to the space station. It's not going to be the Russians for that long.
Sierra Nevada.
Maybe Sierra Nevada, yeah, exactly. So, or maybe all of the above. And there's some competition, and the prices aren't so high. I really hope that's how it is. But anyway, I applied. I believe at last count there were at least 26 people in our organization who applied. I mean, as you imagine, the interest overlapped. So I wouldn't be prouder if an astronauts for hire member was actually selected by NASA, but we'll just have to see. Several members have been interviewed in the past by not only NASA, but the Canadian Space Agency, the European Space Agency. So I think it's 7 people have been interviewees in the past in our organization. So, and that means they've made it to the top, 1% or so of the selection. Well, NASA is going to announce its highly qualified group, which is the stage I made last time. They're going to announce them by, I think it's around June-ish, early summer. And by late summer, August, September timeframe, they're going to bring in the interviewees, which is the top 150 or so people. And they bring them down to the Johnson Space Center for first round of interviews and initial medical screening. And the ones who pass that get to the next stage of second round interviews, come back a couple of months later. But they plan to have the selection done by, I think, the end of the year, 2012, or at least early 2013. And the new class will report in the summer of 2013 to the new job. I've been pretty busy since 2009, and some of the things I've done since then, well, besides co-founding Astronauts for Hire and all of the things that go along with that.
Which definitely should count.
It does. And along with, under the auspices of Astronauts for Hire, of course, I've trained at the NASTAR Center. I've done survival training. I have a zero-G flight campaign coming up in a couple of months. I'm very excited by that. So those things probably would not have happened for me without the support structure of the organization, which is one of the reasons we started it, right? To provide that support structure to aspiring astronauts. So I've done those things. I'm working on my private pilot's license right now. It's been a goal of mine my whole life. Both my parents are pilots, actually. I grew up, I was flying airplanes before I could drive cars, but then I went off to school and never was able to do the license till now. I could finally do it. So I'm doing that now. And enjoying it, loving every minute of it. And I think I've earned 3 scuba ratings since 2009. I'm a master diver now. I really love scuba. Of course, I live in Hawaii where it's very easy to go diving anytime. So I've taken advantage of that as well. And all these things help one be better astronauts, I think. But at the end of the day, it's not about checklists. It's not about doing these boxes and hoping that gets you in. It's about what your fit is and what your personality is and luck as well, right? So I believe in increasing chances, both commercially as I'm doing it, but also with NASA, and we'll see what sticks. But life is interesting anyway, so I'm having a good time.